Well, good evening, everyone. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana weather. It is just shy of 8 o'clock here on Monday night, and we've got some accumulating snow on the way tonight. The models have wanted to ramp up the snow totals a little bit before. Nothing still too aggressive, but I want to take you through the latest data. Tonight's video update is sponsored by High Voltage Mobile DJ Services. You can give Nathan a call at 630-9465 or make sure to visit them on their website at djhighvoltage.com. If you got some need for a DJ, they're a great service, and give them a call. Let them know Southern Indiana Weather sent you. All right, winter weather advisories have been hoisted for much of the area tonight. Really, you can see just a small part of the area has not been. And I know I've had some questions about this, as I always do during these things. Well, why did my county get included in it and my neighbor didn't? Honestly, that's a decision by the local National Weather Service offices. I don't control those. So it just depends really what you have here. The counties that are not included in the advisory here are controlled by the National Weather Service in Indianapolis. And the counties that are controlled here in southwest Indiana are controlled by the Paducah office, and then the rest of them down in here are controlled by the Louisville Weather Office. So we're just in a unique situation around here where it makes it hairy to forecast, honestly, when you got to deal with 3 National Weather Service offices. But whether or not if you live in these counties, and whether you're under a weather advisory or not, you still got some snow on the way. Maybe not as heavy as points up in here, as we'll see in a minute, but slick conditions in the morning for the commute no matter what. All right, I clicked on the wrong thing here. We'll take a look at future radar in a second, but let's come back and take a look at the pattern here. And let me just go ahead and, if I can get my control covered up, folks, let me shift this over for just a minute, and I'll put this into motion for us. And bear with me, it's a high-resolution graphic, so it takes a little bit of a time to load these things sometimes. But this will put it into motion and give you an idea. This is live radar right now, so we're looking at really a loop over the past 2.5 hours. And so you can see it's a fairly quick-moving system. Now, it'll be here knocking on our doorstep probably around midnight or after tonight. The biggest of the accumulating snows look to come really after about 2 or 3 o'clock, and we'll time it out here on future radar in a moment. But you can see some pretty decent moderate snowfalls up here around Davenport now and Des Moines, and all this is pushing our way tonight. So I give that, here we go, get my buttons back here where I control it. If I just throw on the temperatures, also want to show you here that we've got some pretty cold temperatures on the way. These teens is behind, what this is behind an Arctic cold front that's going to dive south, and that Arctic cold front means business. We're going to be under some very cold weather now. We're sitting here at 37 and 40, in the upper 30s to low 40s pretty much around the area right now. But that's certainly going to change as we go through overnight. All right, let's take a look real quick at future radar, and we'll time this into motion. And here we are by about, we are here at 8 o'clock at night, and you see future radar should be predicting that on the sort of the border of Iowa and Illinois. And if we just kind of go back down here, you can see it's actually moving a little bit faster than future radar predicted. So that keep that in mind as we go through this. Still fairly close, but it's more down and more, just a little bit faster, I suppose would be the best way to put it. Put this into motion, and here we are by 1 in the morning, and you see it's kind of knocking on our door now. Bear in mind, I think by midnight this could be more close to the Ohio River than what this is, so keep that in mind. This has, by 6 o'clock in the morning, the brunt of it moving through our area. And by the way, these oranges, if you're wondering what that is, that's just a heavier precipitation total. Excuse me, not a total, but a heavier precipitation rate. Your collar bar are over here on the side. The right one is for snow, the left one is for rain. And so really you've got the light blues starting out as light snow, then going to the whites, and then going to the oranges. So it's just intensity of the snow. And you can see there could be some decent little snow bands set up with this. Now, future radar has this all gone from our area really by about 9 or 10 tomorrow morning or so, somewhere around in there. This is from the high-resolution NAM. Again, it's actually speeding up a lot faster than what the NAM has seen, really probably about 2 hours ahead. So if we just kind of back this up and we see this, the bulk of it coming through about 5 and 6 a.m. overnight, it may be more like 3 and 4 and 5 a.m. around in that time frame before the bulk of it accumulates. So I would certainly expect some delays tomorrow morning if you're going to be traveling as you head to work. Schools definitely are going to have some problems heading out. I would not be surprised at all to see some schools either closing or on 2-hour delays for sure. But certainly stay tuned to your local media and your ways of finding that out. All right, let's take a look real quick at another couple of things that I want to show you. Here's what could be a surprise. Here's the way the GFS paints this out on our surface map, and here we are looking for. Let's go into the overnight hours here, and you see that system diving down towards us. There it comes, and it's sort of interacting with the cold fronts diving south here. It's going to interact with a low pressure that's spinning up and starting to develop. And this low pressure will then move out to sea as the Arctic front pushes it out that way. But you notice these greens, this is higher snow totals. That would be more over eastern Indiana. So really portions here in the southwest Indiana look to stay sort of out of the best zone for snow growth, but we could end up with a little bit of a surprise. This is a map I don't show very often, but what we're looking here are we're looking at 500 millibar vorticity, and I know that's Greek to most people, but let me just explain it here in plain and simple terms. And basically what we're looking at is spin in the atmosphere up at about 18,000 feet. Now this is what we call a vort max whenever it rounds a, well, let me turn on my, change the color here, and notice right in here how the lines start to curve this way. By the way, where I've drawn this is basically the 540 line, so again that's the rain snow changeover line, so it's all snow to our north. But notice right in here where you've got these more intense colors. That's what we call a vort max, and basically what a vort max is just the most intense portion of that vorticity as it spins around here. Now what you find is your heaviest snow totals, you get a little bit of added lift to them whenever you're just to the north and east of that vort max. So that actually could be a surprise for us tomorrow. So that's something we'll have to watch out for. This is one of those systems that could be a little bit overachieving. Now, one thing that's going against us in the favor is if we were to take a look at temperature scheme on this models, we should be down to 32 at 7 o'clock. But if we go back here, you'll notice here we are at 8 o'clock and we're still at 37. So we're not cooling down as fast as the models are saying. That gives me a little bit of problems with this. So keep that in mind as we go through these snow totals. High resolution, the 4-kilometer NAM radar is wanting to give us very minimal accumulations, really only about 1/10 of an inch, so more of a dusting over southwest Indiana, up to 1 inch, and then you start to get into 2 inches points east this way. This doesn't really look great on placement to me. The Euro model is a little bit heavier. I like the placement on this better because remember the snow bands are going to be coming down through like this, and with the Vort Max through here, you're going to have your heavier snow bands likely in this area. So, but it's given out really about 1.5 inches to almost 2 inches over southwest Indiana, greater than 2 inches as you go north and east of Louisville over here. We'll see. The Canadian is a little bit, well, it's a little bit to it. It's a lot more aggressive. It has 3 and 4 inches of snow, sort of a bullseye over around Salem, down into Louisville and Bedford. I have some problems with this model. I don't think I have some doubts about this, and this is an outlier as far as I'm concerned. And the GFS. Oh, the good old GFS has given us pretty much a dusting to less than 1 inch over most of the area, and you don't get really any decent accumulations until you get over here into this side of Indiana. So, again, these are all 4 different models, 4 very different schemes on your totals. But what I want you to notice is the placement on this. The heaviest placement in everything is really over this area, whether it's the GFS here, whether it's the Canadian here, whether it's the Euro, the heavier placement is again over here. The high-res NAM, the heavier placement is over here. So really what I'm thinking is the heaviest snow totals will stay more north and west of the southwest side of Indiana. So really, I guess the best dusting to maybe 1 inch or so here, but as you get into this, a little bit more. Let me just go ahead and show you my latest snow graphic to kind of explain it more. I went with a very general and broad swath on this. Really, a dusting of 2 inches, what I'm expecting over southwest Indiana here, and I know that's kind of a broad, and my gut, honestly, is to say more like a dusting to 1 inch. But because we have that Vort Max over us, I went ahead and put a 2-inch potential in there just for some surprises. We may see some heavier snow bands than expected. So, but I don't see this as a heavy event. Then as you go more north and west of this, you see a line more of 1 to 3. And I really think the 2 and 3 inch totals probably would stay more over in this neck of the woods over here. But again, with that Vort Max below us, Snow is the hardest thing to predict. And I know if you followed me all winter season, you know I hate forecasting snow because it's just so ridiculously tough. And these clipper systems are the hardest to forecast. If we've got a snow system that's going to stay over us and snow for a solid day and a half, like the big megastorm that we had where we got almost a foot of snow dumped in parts of us up in early December, that one was reasonably easy to forecast. These clippers are a pain in the patootie to forecast and very difficult. So keep that in mind whenever you see these totals. So because it's very likely that these could be wrong, but this is my latest expectations. Dusting to 2 inch pretty much in this category and 1 to 3 inches in this category, and we'll kind of go from there and see how it goes. All right, let's talk real quickly about temperatures because we've talked about the snow. That's the next thing that we want to talk about. Big time cool down in store for us this week, and here we go. And by the way, this is just we're starting out now. We fall down below freezing overnight. We go down to about 20. This just takes us down to about 26 by the time tomorrow morning comes. But then notice by 1 we're down to 23, down to 16 by 7 that night. Temperatures are going to fall through the teens tomorrow afternoon. So bundle up. It's going to be a bitterly cold day. Then as we go into the morning on Wednesday, we're going down into really the mid to lower teens as well. And then take a look at this. The cold weather just keeps continuing. Notice the below zero temperatures on Thursday morning starting to spill in here. Right now it looks like they're confined more to central and northern Indiana and the single digits for us, but whether you slice it here, I got to get a little closer to the screen and on my glasses on. This takes us to 3 above here at the Huntingburg Airport, 5 above here in Evansville, 2 above in Terre Haute, just to give you an idea, 1 below in Bloomington. Now, whether you're talking 1 below or whether you're talking 5 above, that's just ridiculously cold. So you can see the kind of air that we're getting into. And then as I put this forward in time a little bit, you see those negatives come back for Friday, single digits again. So you get the idea. It's going to be cold. And by the time Saturday comes, temperatures start to moderate a little. The 30s on Saturday will feel kind of nice, but we're going to have some risk for some more snow showers with that. Temperatures quickly plummet again, and you see these below zero temperatures in our region. So keep that in mind. Any surprise snow for us that comes in with this could bring those below zero temperatures down to us as we go throughout time. So we take a look at my 7-day forecast. You can go to southernindianaweather.com and you can always get it. Tuesday, we're looking for a high around 25. Again, falling temperatures throughout the day. Pretty windy day overall. Northwest winds about 10 to 20 miles per hour. So that's going to make some pretty bitterly cold wind chills. In fact, if I just we can go ahead and calculate these wind chills for you if you want. Let's take a look at, let's just say we got a wind out of the northwest at about 20 miles per hour. We'll fall through the teens in the afternoon. Let's say we're falling down to about 17 degrees with a 20 mile per hour wind. Well, folks, that's going to equal a 0 degree wind chill. So, again, by the time late afternoon comes and we're down to maybe 14 degrees or so with that, we're definitely below 0 for wind chills. So, again, wind chills tomorrow are going to be bitterly cold. Bundle up. Falling temperatures throughout the day. We're going down to 8 degrees for a low that night. 23 on Wednesday, down to 11, partly cloudy, cold. A few snow showers possible on Wednesday. Wednesday doesn't look overly impressive to me at this point. Partly cloudy and cold as you continue on through your week, and notice the single digits and teens as you go throughout this. Cloudy with some snow showers on Saturday. This has sped up the time a little bit. Earlier today it was indicating Sunday. Now it's looking more like a Saturday evening type of thing. Cold front will move in, so that'll transition our winds from the southwest to the northwest. Again, could be fairly breezy. Temperatures will probably fall a little bit behind that cold front as well, down to a low of 15. So this one looks impressive, sort of, on the models right now, but it's too early to talk about snowfall accumulations for anything set in stone. But I wouldn't be surprised to see another 1 3-inch event out of this. So it's one to keep our eye on. Again, nothing huge. And then on Monday, you've got another chance for a little bit of snow with this as well. So that's the way things stand as it is right now. We'll keep you updated tomorrow morning as the snow is overtaking us. I'll have live updates for you as well with those. So keep it tuned right here. And the snow is coming, so just give yourself a little bit extra time on your commute tomorrow morning, folks. All right, that's it for tonight's video update. For Southern Indiana Weather, I'm meteorologist Michael Wilhite. Have a good night, folks.